Hey guys, welcome to another episode. This is week 3 of growing your own food. And this week we dug a ditch as promised.
So week 3 of growing your own food / giant mess in the backyard.
Well, anything with food is generally messy at some point. So
it all has potential.
We're out here on the Springwater Trail today, and you can probably see some bikes going by. We're gonna go get some dinner in a little bit. But today we finished the project of adding electrical. We first started, I think, on Friday digging the ditch. We'll show you that. And then running the electrical out to where the chicken coop's going to be, and then had the idea to actually put an outlet out there for your power tools. Brilliant. So now I have power tools actually out in the yard. That was a good idea, Ben.
Thanks.
Ben's with us too, by the way. So anyway, then we put the heaters in the garden beds. Mm-hmm. And so you'll see all that. It was a lot of fun. And we added our soil. We got to do a little more composting to get enough fertilizer in there, but probably in a couple weeks we'll start putting some, well, we got to grow some seedlings first.
Right.
So, but it'll be ready.
I got a new bike.
Oh, that's right.
From your parents.
Mm-hmm.
It's an electric assist bike. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I can keep up and not cry on the hills now.
It's quick. She was moving. I got to work out.
Now you're getting the workout instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the signs on the Springwater Trail, which is a, if you're not familiar with it, it's an old railway line that years ago they paved, and it goes, it's a, how long? 40-mile bike loop.
Yes.
Through Portland and Gresham and Boring and such like that, and it's all paved now. It's fantastic. And I'm seeing signs that say to Selwood, which is a really like a hipster part of town, is like 33 miles. I'm like, I could totally do that on this new bike.
Yeah,
and
we'll
you get a workout.
to do that. Yeah. We're gonna get back on our bikes now and go get some dinner.
At the food carts.
A la carte, yes. If you've never been to Portland and you like food, I think we have the best food carts anywhere, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody can get what they want.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Nobody argues about, where you're going for dinner.
All right, well, let's get biking.
All right.
Baby, there's no plan for the wicked. There is no hope for the longing heart. Just another day to be with you. When everything ends, it's a brand new start. Baby, there's no plan for the wicked.
The first step in our project for this weekend is to dig a ditch. Now, I want to caution you, if you're doing something like this at home, anytime you're digging in your backyard, your front yard, anywhere, you should always contact locating services in your area to find out if there's utilities, electrical, gas, data, any of that stuff in the ground, because it could be going through your backyard, even though you might not think it's going through your backyard. We contacted ours, found out we're all clear to dig anywhere in our backyard, so that's good. The goal is to get power from that outlet right there, and then we're going to go down through the ground over to the location where the chicken coop will be sometime this winter. We'll put something out there. For right now, we just want to get an outlet out there so we can start powering our boxes. We're going to add more boxes this weekend as well, but we want to start with that ditch, mostly because today we got some nice weather and we don't expect to have good weather all weekend, so this is a good day to do it. Now, one other thing I'm going to do while I'm out here, there's a spot in the grass, well, it's not grass, there's a spot in the yard that will not grow grass, and I cannot figure out why. You can see it right here. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, I've put fertilizer down, I've put grass seed, lots of grass seed, I even put like turf down, and it killed the turf. So I don't know what's under there, if there's something leaching through the soil. I did notice that there's like this mesh, and so maybe that's it just can't root. But my goal is to also dig that up today, put some topsoil down so we can grow some grass there, and then of course I'll have to put some topsoil down where I tear up the grass and have to regrow that as well. But sun's out, let's start digging. Okay, so I haven't gotten too far into this. I'm maybe about 5 feet away from the back of the house, and I'm digging fairly shallow to start with. I'm just using the spade shovel to break through like the grass roots, so I get that top layer off, and then I'm gonna come back with my post hole digger to get it down to about 18 inches. When you're putting in any conduit, you should be at least 18 inches down. You don't really need to go any further than 18 inches down, but it's far enough down to keep it from freezing. And it's also where most people expect to find their conduit. So that's per code in our area, you need to be at least 18 inches down. That's how far I'm going. I might have my first clue into what's going on over here, this patch that's not growing. This grass is mostly growing. There's a couple of spots that doesn't grow, but if you look where Minnie's at here, there's a whole bunch of concrete right here. That's all rock. So I may have to get out the sledgehammer, start breaking stuff up. Hopefully I don't have to rent a jackhammer again. I'm hoping it's not a lot of concrete, just a little bit, but that might be what's going on over there too. So we'll dig that top layer off and see what's going on there too, but hopefully this isn't too bad. Status update here, quick status update on the ditch. I'm finding a lot of concrete, and it's about every couple of feet there's a big chunk of concrete. That's kind of the bad news. The good news is that it's only about that thick, so I'm actually able to bust through it without having to use a sledgehammer or even having to go get a jackhammer. I'm pretty much just using the pickaxe, bust right through, but it is pretty much everywhere. My best guess is that when whoever owned the house before us poured this gigantic pad that is the basketball court, they must have had some left over and just dumped it out in the yard. Now, I do know that before we moved in, the previous owner had a big deck, and so I think what happened is they just dumped it, put the deck over it, and then when they removed the deck and put grass in, they didn't bother to clean up the yard at all. They kind of just probably threw down some grass seed and some more dirt, covered up the concrete, and that's why this isn't growing over here, because I think that's just one gigantic puddle of concrete. But so far, I've dug a little bit up, so far it's only about an inch thick, so some good news. So we finished the ditch, and it's always important to make sure that your work crew is well taken care of. Where are we going for dinner tonight, Ben?
We're going to Sushi Villa.
Sushi Villa! That was good, huh?
That was really good.
Our bellies are full, so now we'll go get some... Gotta go to the hardware store.
Oh yes,
Get some conduit.
Supplies.
Get some supplies. So you can see it fits in the back, no problem. It's just a little bit long, but Ben's got it covered.
We might need to go jousting. Got 5 of them, just guys.
Gag me with a spoon. So the puppy dogs got corn tonight. They're very happy.
Well, Lucky seems just to be guarding his. Minnie, though,
He doesn't know
is
what to do with it.
going to town. Well, he doesn't have front teeth, so it's kind of hard to scrape your corn when you don't have front teeth.
Poor dog.
You need to get him doggy dentures.
I don't know.
Here's the reason we could not get like a 4x4 section of our yard to grow. It would grow for a little bit and then it would totally die. So apparently there's a layer of concrete. What do you think this is? About 5 or 6 inches under the ground?
Yeah.
But it's
it
only
varies.
a section and it's done poorly, almost like they just kind of dumped some extra concrete. So
It was the leftover from the pad, I think.
it must be.
They're just like, well, we got some extra. Here, let's dig a hole and dump it in the
But
ground.
at least we know now. So we'll run the conduit and then that'd be a good job for Ben. He can dig that up and start pulling out that concrete.
I'll probably do that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the electrical. I've already shut it off out here to the outside of the house. We're going to put a different box up here because the box that's there right now only has one junction. I need two. I need an in and an out. So we're gonna take that one off. That one's gonna go into the chicken coop. Got another one's gonna go in there. We're gonna go through the junction box there. We'll down. We'll run conduit down into the trench, all the way across the trench. I'm going to set a post, a very short post in concrete over there, so that when I put the outlet on the post, it's not going to move around. We don't want that to happen. And that'll get us electrical from the house all the way out to the chicken coop, and then we can start putting the heating wires out in the beds. We'll probably do that tomorrow. But just a little warning here, I'm not going to show a lot of what I'm doing with the electrical. If you want to do something like this, make sure you know how to do electrical work or hire an electrician. If you're not familiar on how to do electrical work, don't just try it. Definitely get a licensed, bonded electrician in your area. You can dig the ditch and they can run the conduit for you. So we'll get that outlet in. Made some good progress last night. We got the conduit into the ditch and all the wire into the conduit. So now I'm just going to put the outlets on both sides. We're putting the outlet, the GFI that was on that side back. I've got another outlet going on this end. Then we'll close, we'll turn the circuit on, make sure it works. And then we'll put all the dirt back, close it up, and then we're going to get on to putting our heaters into our garden beds.
Hey, we match.
Yes, we do.
It's our uniform today, apparently.
Yes. So we're getting a lot done today. We got the electrical all set. Outlook looks good.
Got the trench filled in so Lucky doesn't have to cross the Grand Canyon
Oh,
anymore.
I wish we got a video of that. Lucky took a header and the trench was like, and you saw it's like 6 inches wide.
And maybe 6 inches, 8 inches deep. It wasn't even very
It's
deep.
18 inches deep.
Was it?
Yeah, it had to be.
Oh, okay. It was
Better
18
be.
inches
That's
deep.
code. But I mean, he like took this huge like boom leap and like landed right in it head first. His back flipped over and then he got out the other side. And then the rest of the week
He
he's
would
been
do
like,
like a running jump.
yeah,
and
he's been
leap
jumping and
over
clearing it by like 5 or 6 feet just to be sure. But anyway, okay, we got off track. So next we are going to put the heating wire into our garden bed. So we got 4 of them out here right now. And we're going to put the weed cloth down first. So step number one is we don't want the weeds to come through, and we want to have good drainage going down. Additionally, we're going to then add some sand, and then we're going to kind of like do an S pattern with the coil, right? So that we cover the whole bottom of it. Now, the YouTube videos, we've never done this before, so this is going to be new for us, but all the YouTube videos I've seen on putting in heating coils in raised beds says you put them in about an inch of sand. And I think the idea is that the sand will help distribute the energy, the thermal energy pretty well, and it also keeps like organic material away from the cord, which could probably over time degrade like the coating on the cord. Anyway, so we're gonna knock that out, and we'll show you what that looks like. So sometimes when you start working on a project, you just kind of get into the project and you kind of forget to film a few things. And in the rest of this, we didn't film at all like what the cable looks like going in and how it gets laid in there. So we plan to, I thought maybe later this week, we could get out there and put another box in, but it has been pouring non-stop this week. Like, you just can't even get outside and get 10 minutes when it's not raining. Here's an example. Yeah, it's fall in Oregon. I'm at the gym. I'm not sure I want to get out just yet. Wait a minute. I just wanted to show you real quick. I mean, the cable, it's like we said, it's not really that complicated. You're basically, doing like an S pattern with this cable. And this cable is, they look like these guys right here. I'll put a link in the description, but it's just a cord, like a 110 volt cord that goes to this heating coil. And this heating coil is actually used for like de-icing roofs. So like if you get a lot of snow right by the gutters, you can string this cable along the gutter, and it'll just keep it barely warm enough to de-ice. So I just want to make sure we showed you what the cable looked like. It's nothing really special. There just aren't a whole lot of videos that we've found on YouTube on doing this method of putting the cable into sand and then putting the dirt on top. And in fact, if you type in like to Amazon or Google like raised bed heating cable, you won't find anything. The only thing I found is heating cable for getting rid of ice on your roof. And so we're trying that. That's what this stuff is. And like I said, I'll put the link in the description, and you're gonna see as we go this year in the winter how all this stuff works. Maybe it doesn't work. We hope it does. We'll find out. But I just want to mention that because we totally forgot to film that in the video. So back to the video. We're having some delicious food here. We pretty much finished our bike ride. It's not too far from our house, but it was a good week. We got a ton of stuff done.
Yes, we did.
Getting the
mostly done.
Mostly. What did we not get done?
Well, no, that's true. You got all the electrical done.
Thank you.
The garden beds that are in, but they're waiting to be completed. So you need a little more dirt and then seedlings and whatnot.
Yeah. There's not a ditch in our backyard.
There's not a ditch in our backyard.
Oh, and it was nice weather too.
It was really warm. Yeah.
Yeah, which is good because
Timed that perfectly.
yeah, because tomorrow it's gonna rain is what I hear.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. But we're really glad you guys joined us this week. Hopefully we gave you some new ideas for gardening in the winter. This is new for us, so we're gonna see how it goes. We'll keep you posted and obviously have more videos about gardening in this series. I think next week we got something special next week. We have a special guest, maybe
Yes.
2 special guests. So you want to be watching that.
And please tell us if you have any suggestions for winter gardening. We are really just starting this and kind of feeling our way through. So if you see anything obvious or any suggestions, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to hear. Remember in the last video we said anybody that offers you free wood, you say,
Oh yes.
yes please, we'll take it. Well, I go to a yoga studio in downtown Gresham called Epidavros, and we'll put the link in the notes below.
Yep.
And they're opening a new studio, and I was in kind of helping them today, and they mentioned, hey, we've got a bunch of pallets and nobody wants them. And I said, we'll take them.
We'll take 'em.
If you don't mind dropping them off. And
Yeah.
sure enough, they came and dropped them off. So if you live in the Portland Gresham area, highly recommend this yoga studio, Epidavros. And their link will be
Even
in.
I've done yoga there.
You have, the whole family has. Ben,
That's
have you
true.
done yoga there?
No.
He hasn't done yoga there, so he'll have to go with us sometime.
He's busy eating. Well, we're sure glad you joined us this week. Definitely post your comments. If you like this video, give us a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you get notification. You know when the next Unplugged Urban is coming out. But for right now, we're going to say good night.